what do you think the biggest barrier is for this just adoption at a very base level that gets people to the next step? Like if you had a name, and again, you could probably say, well, in this industry, it's this, or this business, it's this. But is there any sort of just connective tissue that you're seeing across those different companies where it stands out and you say, oh, this is either the mindset shift or the cultural shift or the change management shift that really has to happen to start moving in the direction that is inevitably going to sweep over everybody?
So from a sales and marketing perspective, it's been a bit painful because we keep thinking that we are going to end up the AI enablement company for this vertical or that vertical or whatever. And we'll come in, we'll solve some big juicy problem for somebody, we'll save them a ton of money, and then we'll waltz over to somebody else in the industry and say, hey, we've solved this big juicy problem. And it doesn't usually convert. And it doesn't usually convert because the issue is less of a demand or a need problem and more of a leadership problem. And organizations that are ahead of this are organizations that have taken a stand from the very top. So on the show, we've talked about AI manifestos before. So often it's one of the first things that we do in an organization is we help literally the board, the CEO, or the founder, often who is a member of all of those. I really don't like it to be punted to anybody else in the organization to take a stand on how they think about artificial intelligence, how they think about the future of their business, the future of their industry, the future of their people, and put forward a mandate that aligns all of those pieces into capacity building. Because most organizations, and I do mean most, still treat it as like, oh, there's this tool that does this thing, and then they wander around with a hammer looking for a nail, as opposed to understanding that it's a pervasive technology and you have to be opportunistic about where you're applying it. And you can't be opportunistic about where you're applying it unless you and your people understand how that's going to work out. So the very best organizations lean into it from the top, develop capacity throughout their ranks, and then they start uncovering those low-hanging fruit sort of opportunities, high frequency, low risk, high yield type automations that take a bunch of crud off of people's desks and make them happy. Like if you want to build a culture of AI, solve a bunch of problems that people hate in the organization. It's like, the office space TPS reports. Like nobody wants to do a TPS report.
The work you really don't want to do. The work you
yeah.
love, right?
And all of a sudden people are like,
tedious, like pixel pushing across different little Excel boxes like that.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, totally. Well,